Hey, I'm here at Flight Sim Expo 2023. I've got Blu Games, Caleb here with me. Caleb, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. What about you?
I'm doing pretty well, thanks. How are you enjoying the event so far?
I'm loving it. I always love coming here. It's my third one so far, and so far it's not only in my hometown but also my favorite one. Not because of that, not for that reason. It actually legit is just feels bigger. It feels more populated. It feels more organized. It's and then getting to meet all the people that I look up to or the people that I see on chat or in the forums. It's good to see everybody face to face.
Absolutely. And before we go any further, what's your channel and local airport?
The channel is Blu Games on YouTube, Blu Games on Twitch, Blu Games on TikTok, Blu Games on Instagram, Blu Games on everything. My home airport is IAH, Houston Intercontinental.
What do you think about Flight Sim Expo as a community event and, how it's grown over time?
I've been seeing it. Like I said, it's my third Flight Sim Expo, and I've been seeing it grow. My first one was pretty large. I was back in Orlando. It was really nice. Made some amazing connections. I met you guys for the first time back in Orlando. San Diego was a little bit smaller because of the whole COVID idea, which I understood. And then this year, I just feel like it just exploded. Yeah. And I feel like it
feels like the biggest ever.
It does. It feels like the biggest ever, and probably is. But I feel like it's helping to push the community and kind of really seal the relationships within on the core sim community. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, we have our groups and whatnot that we have outside of here, but it's like it really seals the deal with everything.
Get to see them in person as opposed to always being through the screens, right?
Yeah. You legit. I was talking to somebody the other day. Like you legit make long-lasting friendships with people because you get to see them in person, and you like when you see them, you don't recognize them because like, oh, I've never seen them before, right? But then when you meet them in person, like, oh yeah, my name is this and this online, and it's like you become best friends instantly.
What got you into Flight Sim in the first place?
I just loved aviation. I think I tried FS 95 was my first flight simulator, and I was just on my dad's computer. I was just curious. I don't know why he had it, but it was on his computer, and I was playing with WASD, no hardware, nothing. That was kind of where the flight sim side started, but I always was like staring at the sky, looking at planes, love flying, so that's where it all came from.
Speaking of loving and flying, do you have any aspirations to be a pilot, or have you flown a plane before?
Yes and yes.
Okay.
I have flown a plane before. I have one official hour at the moment of this recording, and I have 4 unofficial hours flying with a friend of mine. But I have definitely a passion for flying, and I want to do it as a career, as a hobby. I would love to do it for fun, but it's too expensive. So I got to get my commercial license and do that so that I can go out and flying. So yes, it's definitely a passion I want to do, and no matter what, I'm going to make it happen.
Yeah. Are you planning on anything right now? Do you have anything going in terms of getting that commercial license?
I'm hoping, honestly, to in the next month or two to actually go out to my local airport in Conroe, Texas, and start like legit going towards my pilot license. So that's my goal.
Awesome. Yeah. And what actually got you into the more patient, methodical style of play of flight simming versus faster paced games like FPS, which is a lot of streamers lean into, right?
Yeah, it's relaxing. I think that's what it is. I've played the Call of Duties, the fast paced games. I do enjoy those. Sometimes I rage quit. You know,
I know the feeling.
It's come to a point where you get tired of getting sniped, and flying is you don't get sniped in flying, and so it's funny because I do play slower paced games. I play obviously flight simulators, driving simulators. I'll play construction simulator. I'll play even when it comes to first person shooters. I like tactical ones where it's like, all right, you got to go slow and methodic, right? And so I don't know what turned me on to that really, but that's just what I'm into.
What's it like engaging with chat, in flight sims related to that, right? You said it's slower paced. Is it nicer in that regard?
It actually is because you take off and you do nothing, right, during cruise for however long your flight is. It allows you to literally just chat. Like you go on Twitch, you see those just chatting. It's basically like that during cruise. Like you take off, yeah, you have a nice view of the plane or whatever, but it gives you way more time to actually just talk and interact versus if you're doing something else. I've tried doing more fast-paced games like racing or even a first-person shooter where you're focused on the game. You can't see chat until maybe between matches.
Right.
And so being able to do flying where it's just like chilling or even trains, it gives you an opportunity to really connect with the community in a different way.
And when you're connecting with them, are there recurring themes or topics that come up?
Yeah, I mean, whatever is current happening within the community, whether it be some new plane that released or some new plane that hasn't released that they want to release, or new hardware. I mean, whatever is really usually what's happening recently or just whatever's on our mind. Because I do a lot of reviews as well, I get a lot of questions about, hey, what hardware do you recommend? What is this compared to that? And so I'll give my honest opinion on it, but that's usually what's going on.
What are you most excited for in the next year of Flight Sim?
Oh man, it is a great time to be in a flight sim. Like legit. Like if you're just getting started with flight sim, this is the perfect time to be a part of it because there's so much hardware, there's so many people, so much community, so much help, so much support, and I'm excited about the simulators pushing the boundaries. Like the new Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Interested to see what that's really gonna do. Like what are they really doing there? They're really being
Yeah,
quiet.
I mean, the announcement came out of nowhere, and we don't really have all the details, right?
Exactly, out of nowhere. Not a lot of details. They told us a little bit, but not what we want to hear yet. So people were kind of debating on that, and there's a debate with the other simulators, and then there's the hardware coming out. So there's a lot of great hardware and sims and add-ons that are coming, and it's just exciting.
So, what's it like streaming in front of a live audience here at Flight Sim Expo? What was the experience like for you?
Well, this year was my first time doing it, and I'm super thankful, guys, for the opportunity. It was exciting. It was. Usually we're at home, with in our own room. I usually stream privately. No one is around, and so it's just me, the chat, and the audio. But it's really cool having that support from behind, having people around. They're watching, they're taking pictures, they're pumping you up, they're supporting you, they're giving you stuff. So it's a bit different because like usually you're focused on talking to the chat in the stream, but then here it's like, all right, I'm talking to the chat in the stream, but also I'm talking to this chat here that's with me.
And I mean, it's cool because I think I saw you have someone sit down and you were on stream with them. What was going on there?
Yeah, so I tried my hand out on the new F-16 throttle and trying to do like some air-to-air refueling, which is very challenging. But then another guy came up, and I know he's in the DCS, a friend of mine. I was like, you know what, you want to try it? And he was like, sure. Everybody else was scared. Nobody else wanted to try it. And so I was like, yeah, sure. So he got in, and then he tried it, and he got it. He made it work. So it was cool. I wanted to definitely find some kind of way to get the people here involved as well into the stream and into the content. So I was glad I was able to do that.
So, in terms of combat versus flight sim, which one do you lean towards more?
Definitely,
I should say civilian flight sim
civilian.
versus combat flight sim.
Yeah, I'm civilian is definitely what I lean to more. I have a passion for combat for sure. I do love it. I love the platform of DCS and what it's capable of, and as well as you guys' hardware makes it even more enjoyable. But definitely I'm probably more, I would say 60, 70 on the civil, and then the rest will be combat. But the combat is something that more recently that I got into, like in the past few years, that just really kicked off because the modules were so great. So yeah, definitely civil over combat, but I love them both.
It's hard to choose sometimes.
It is. It depends what mood I'm in. Do I want to shoot at something? Let's go land somewhere. Want to fly a helicopter, do some kind of search and rescue mission? It just depends what I'm into. And I also love the multiplayer aspect of each of those. So if you're flying regular civil aviation, you're flying on VATSIM, you're flying a crew flight from A to B, whatever, and your favorite plane. On DCS, it's more of a squadron style thing. You're flying with a few guys who are flying together in unison, doing a co-op mission, or even PvP dogfighting or something like that. And so I love, it's just so much to love in each area that I know some people are focused on only civil aviation, only airliners. I'm not that person.
You're willing to explore other avenues.
Yes, I'm willing to explore. I'll try it. If I don't like it, I won't do it again. But I'll try everything.
You got to try.
Exactly.
You got to try and see, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I gotcha. So right now, what is your go-to favorite module, and what makes it so great?
I think, and as soon as I answer this question, I'm going to change my mind. But I'm going to go with what I'm thinking right now. And my favorite module is probably the MD-11 on X-Plane currently. And the reason why is just because how detailed it is. The 3D model with texturing is like top line. Sounds need some work, but the systems are great, and it's just a beautiful plane to me. And I love the way it feels when you fly it. It feels great on a TCA yoke.
Well, speaking of flying planes, if you had the chance to fly in the cockpit of a real plane on a real flight, first of all, what plane would it be? And second off, what flight path and why?
If I got to fly one aircraft, it would be an A320 Neo, and we would go, where would we fly to? Anywhere. I don't even care.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Put me in an A320. I love Boeing. Don't get me wrong. Don't hate me. I love Boeing, but I feel like I know more about Airbus. And it also, I believe it helps you a bit more too. You know what I mean? If you can put me in a real plane You know, if I'm in a Boeing, I'm like, yeah, I can do this, but you know, the Airbus has some assist and whatnot, so I would like that security.
More comfortable.
And more comfortable in the A320. It also has a little tray table and everything in the front, so I would do that. But if I fly anywhere, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Just anywhere on the A320, you'll go around the world if you need
Go
to.
around the world in the A320.
Well, it was great having you here. I hope you're enjoying the show in general, and I appreciate the time you took here.
Yeah, me too. I'm loving it. Again, thank you guys so much for inviting me in to be a part of the booth and help out. You guys always do an amazing job every year. And
Thank you.
I think everybody always looks forward to seeing the Thrustmaster booth.
Thank you, Caleb, and enjoy the rest of the show.
I will. You too.
Thanks, man.
Bring it back.